Hello, beautiful family. I am making a quick video as a response to a question that I posted earlier today. The question was very simple. Are men allowed to cry? And I posed it that way because it was a thought that I just had randomly at work during a 12-hour shift where this morning, for various reasons, I just did not feel like myself. And not to say that I wanted to cry, but it was one of those moments to where emotionally I felt enraged by some things that have happened. And I thought to myself, if I could cry, this would be the perfect time to. And I was looking at the responses to the question. They were so beautiful that I didn't even feel like I could simply just type. I didn't want to lose anything in translation. I didn't want to lose the intonation and the timbre of my voice through a text message. So, for those who decide to listen and listen all the way through, I appreciate it. So, I will say that even though we can, I don't believe we're allowed to. I think that even though I love the responses, because for the most part, it was yes. And then, some people said, you can when you're by yourself. And then there was people who made some jokes, and it all was, in my opinion, part of the conversation. I cried at my wedding, and that was the first time I cried tears of joy in years. I don't do it as often, but when my son passed away, for maybe about 6 months, I cried every day to myself. Just a couple of years ago, during and I hate to use this phrase, but the George Floyd riots, because it wasn't just about George Floyd, but during the pandemic and episodes of civil unrest, I came home one day and I broke down in my wife's arms, to be honest. And even saying that, expressing that and letting that out, makes me feel vulnerable right now. But I cried in her arms because even though I try hard to filter out all the devastation that I was taking in, it was just between seeing all these things happening across the world, across our country, seeing all the black bodies, men, women, children in the street, conversations with white counterparts at the job. It got to me. In that moment, I felt like this isn't fair, and it's a shame that when we cry out, look what's happening to us, there's legitimate backlash and resistance to wanting to understand our plight as a black man, a African American man on top of that. So in that moment, when I shed those tears, and it was a quick moment, yes, I was embraced, but I think about that now. Could I have gone to a friend? Could I have gone to someone other than my wife and express that hurt in that way? I mean, we say yes, but there was a time, I remember, T.O., y'all know who that is, was a meme because he was crying, right? And when you look at some of the responses to that, it was, oh, this is what they want. They want strong black men to feel weak, to feel helpless. So basically, he's not allowed to cry. More recently, I think about Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight boxer, during the post conference, broke down crying, talking about fighter safety and their health. And in some of the videos that I watched, some of the responses, people legitimately said, oh, he had a mental breakdown. Oh, he's been humbled. Like, what if he's always felt that way? And now, in that particular moment, having such a devastating knockout to somebody who he sparred with, who he considered a friend, he was just overwhelmed by the emotion. So what you're saying is, we're not allowed to cry. If we cry, we're weak. If we cry, it's a mental breakdown. If we cry, we're succumbing to the pressures of the world, and we're not as strong as we proclaim to be. But we have to. We have to cry. We have to get it out. We have to allow ourselves that cathartic release of emotion. I don't cry as much anymore. Coming up on my 40th birthday, I think about my son. I think about my father, who both passed to leukemia of all things. I think about lost friendships, lost relationships, broken opportunities. I think about the times that I messed up and had to recover. I think about the times that I had hope in something or someone and was let down. And part of me wants to just release. But then I think, I gotta be strong. And it's not about dwelling in the moment, but it's about letting the moment happen. So, short answer, I don't honestly think we're allowed to cry as men. Long answer is, we have to. So, I want to say thank you for anybody who stayed listening. Right now I'm going on 8 minutes, or actually 9-minute rant. But I wanted this response to be a video one so I can express how I feel, because I'm just not that good at typing. And I think this is a more honest way to answer. So for all of those who listen, I love you. For everybody who had a response, I love you. For everyone who's been a part of my life. It's funny, on Facebook, it says I have like 4,000 something friends. And it's just the same like 20 people who respond to my posts. So for that less than 1% who shows love consistently, this is just a quick thank you to you. And hey, listen, like, subscribe. No. But if you do have a response, please put it in the video. I'll read every one, and we'll go from there. Love y'all.